All right, without any further ado, I'd like the panelists to give a brief introduction. And Clifton, you can start things off.
Hello, I'm glad to be here. My name is Clifton Berry. I'm with Berry Advisors, LLC. I do consulting with small businesses, so I'll give you my card later. I've been in banking and finance since 1979 in St. Louis, worked for First National Bank, Community Federal. I ran the office of Fannie Mae in St. Louis for 11 years. I've worked as a community bank president for People's National Bank of St. Louis. I'm a native St. Louisan, a graduate of Dartmouth College with a degree in economics. And I'm glad to be here and to just share some ideas that I have for you about not just mortgage finance, but the financial system in the country, not just in the country, but in St. Louis. I greeted Percy Green when we came in, and I thanked him because his chaining himself to the arch is the reason why I'm in banking and finance in St. Louis today. Now, I mentioned him in particular because I know he's leaving, but I also mentioned him because, in my view, if you're going to be successful as small business people getting access to capital, it's going to require nothing less than the kind of revolution that was sparked in this country when the Percy Greens of the world came to the fore and said we have to have a fundamental change, a paradigm shift. And I'm going to direct my comments a bit to that later, but I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next up is Eddie Davis.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's really a pleasure for me to be here as well. And I need to speak some accolades about Percy Green. See, Percy and I served on the St. Louis Black Leadership Roundtable with Percy about 10 years. And Clifton is right. This man and a number of other people, Congressman Clay and a number of others who were with them, paved the way for many of us African Americans to get into corporate America. Percy, in his later career, and I had another interesting parallel. He was involved with minority certification at the city of St. Louis and did some phenomenal things there. So Percy, thank you for everything that you did. I really appreciate it. I started my career, Clifton is a pup. I started my career in 1971 here with Union Electric Company. I worked with Union Electric in the corporate communications area for 20 years. And I spent the last 6 years there in the minority business development area, helping the company identify minority businesses they could do business with. I left Union Electric and became the president of the St. Louis Minority Business Council. Many of you all are familiar with the council. That's the certifying organization for ethnic minorities, not only in St. Louis, but there are 39 organizations around the country affiliated with the National Minority Supplier Development Council. I ran that organization for 5 years, and the last 9 years or so, since 2001, I've been an independent consultant. I need to make one other shout out. Mr. Bob Coleman, my partner and associate in Composite Resources, is here. And I told Bob, and I didn't say this jokingly, he thought I was joking. He taught me most of what I know about finance. He really did. This guy's a genius. He's the former owner of 7-Up Bottling Company here in St. Louis, and he also owned Whitnall Watch, which I'm wearing one.
Okay.
I owe a lot to Bob in what I'm doing now. It's important that we all understand, and that's enough about me, that we all understand that, as Cliff said, we need to have a revolution, if you will, in this country. I remember, despite all the things that Percy and those guys did, it wasn't like Watts, it wasn't like Harlem, and it wasn't like some of the other areas where things were going on in those times. And for those reasons, I think many of those cities are 20 years ahead of us. I'm going to come back to that and talk about that a little bit later. One thing that I didn't tell you is that I currently also serve as the director of the Center for the Acceleration of African American Business. And I would be remiss if I didn't point to Ms. Trina Moore, who's the administrative assistant of that organization, and she's the glue who actually holds us together. Trina, just wave your hand. I'll talk a little bit later about what we do at that agency as well. But our job here today is to talk about access to capital and how important it is for small and particularly minority and specifically African American businesses to grow and develop their business. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eddie. Eddie was also remiss, and of course modest, in not mentioning that he was 2009 SBA Minority Business Champion of Missouri in St. Louis District 7. He made a trip to the White House. All right, keeping with the Davis theme, on to Karen Davis.
Hello, I'm so glad to be here today, and I'm not going to say when I started in the business. That's something we women don't have to do. But again, I'm Karen Davis, and I've been here in the St. Louis area for about 2.5 years. I work with Regions Bank. I've been with them for 7 years, and before that I was with the Springfield Urban League in Springfield, Illinois, which is where I'm from. Have a background in community development with degrees in management and community development from the University of Illinois. Currently in my role at Regions, I oversee the Midwest, which encompasses 7 states. And so throughout those states, I'm looking to see if there are any adverse lending patterns for the bank. I'm looking to make sure that we've made outreach to all of the markets and to everyone there. I look at where our branches are located to make sure that everyone has access, but excuse me, certainly what's been keeping me busy the last couple of years is really looking at our lending practices as it relates to mortgages and small business lending. So I'm really happy to be here, and as I was coming over here, I thought about what I'm going to say, but I don't know if I'm going to be wearing my banker hat or my community hat. So from time to time, I'll let you know which hat I have on when I'm responding.
Thank you. We went with alphabetical order, but you're on to something. So the community ones are on the left, and we got the 2 bankers on the right. So we do need to change that, right? Certainly. All right, next up is Jose Ruiz with PNC National City.
Hello, everyone. My name's Jose. I'm a banker. I'm actually a banking center manager, branch manager at the Baldwin branch. Justine Petersen is one of our most valuable clients. We've been working closely with Justine to help the underbanked, underserved get more access to capital. And we do that by a series of programs. Briefly about myself, I've been in the banking industry for the last 6 years. Prior to that, I'm an engineer by profession. I'm an industrial engineer. For the last 5 years, I worked for Bank of America, and then I moved over to National City, which is now part of PNC. What I really liked about the National City PNC program, which is now part of PNC, is PNC just came up with what we call the Foundations of Money Management, which is actually giving a second chance to those who are not able to get checking accounts. So that's a great program that has really worked well. In fact, we've helped close to 40 people now since we started this program get the ability to get the very basic checking so they can manage their funds better, which will help them build their credit worthiness along the line. So that's why I'm here, is provide that view or whatever. As well as I used to be a small business owner myself, so I understand the issues of small business owners like most of you. So, okay.
Thanks, Jose.
Thank you.